Ka-Nying Khenpo Pema Namgyal Peka Taranga Tsinte Chilmendo Dharma Tuje Chela Kucha Sa Ujin Solin Peme Dongbo La Jawe Namjo Ranjo Lungi Do Tsenzo Beje Yenden Sombarwa Pema Junen Dalun Benzo Kyon Leben Ludo Aryan Tewa Da Tomi Yin Cholan Chuji Da Yenden Dan Shaji Vegisha Chendu Chuni Namla Kucha Sa Omen Chuji Injin Podane Tusum Sanji Kunji Ngoni Ransim Chugu Ngosum Tenzemba Zawe Lame Shabla Sowa De Taso Drove Lamna Chela Juru Gonju Tokba Power Chinji Lo Ta Tomar Chu Nyembi Kulong Tela Tekba Tumongi Wangdu Chena Ani Dushi Shi Temba Sonyachang Ani Tekba Chimbugi Lam Luxol Tatu Chebaina Kulong Changjuk System Rimbache Tini Tini Saltamni Chunin Kugre
In the beginning, we should spend a moment generating the proper intention for receiving the teachings, which could be twofold. One aspect of our intention should be in accordance with the fundamental common vehicle, that is to say, we should engender the four notions. And also we should engender pure intention of the mind of awakening, bodhicitta, in accordance with the tradition of the great vehicle. And then in that spirit, please listen to the teachings.
Ani Jigdengi Kamtela Ani Tarbe Lam Tunkingi Dumba Mambu Yobare Ani Dumba Mambu Nani Kyang Takachagi Dumba Shaketuba Te Yang Tapa Tang Tsema Yimbe Jumsen Zodi Tangazo Tong Tenjung Shunayan Tigre Tatana Demba Shi Shunayan Tigre Chogi Domshi Sumayan Tigre Tigi Tuen Sung with Jumsena Tene Dumba Ti Yang Tabare Second thing Nishi Tong Tugere.
In this world, there have been many spiritual guides who have shown the path to many beings. Among those, our teacher is the precious Buddha Shakyamuni, is said to be a genuine, authentic master, true, genuine teacher. Why is it so? Because he has taught the views of emptiness and interdependence. We can also say because he has taught the Four Noble Truths or the Four Seals of Dharma. Exactly on the account of those teachings, we can validate our guide, our master, as a genuine teacher.
That Chugi Domshi Nangne Duje Tamje Mitaba Sung Yongdu Tungalgi Demba Yimbachi Shekure.
Among the Four Seals of Dharma, the first one that states that all conditioned phenomena are impermanent pertains to the first among the Four Noble Truths, that is the truth of suffering.
Teni Sakje Tamje Tungal Second Tiduyangta Tagar Tungal Yimbashi Ingura Tungal Korangi Kejudi Teni Mitabachi Sung Yongura Ta Dinigi Nala Zodi Tungal Dembe Kor Sung Yongure.
The second of the Four Seals states that all defiled emotions are suffering. So this also directly points to the truth of suffering, right? Impermanence also implies suffering, but also all defiled emotions are said to be that of suffering.
Dangu Shuba Nanshin Chene Chaba Duje Gitungal Shibi Kwa Lendanti Ta Mitabi Gani Lingure Shuyimba.
As I have already explained yesterday, especially the suffering known as the all-pervasive, subtle type of suffering of everything being conditioned, that especially refers to impermanence, should be understood as should refer to or understood as impermanence.
Pena ngaranzo tanda ne na cha dang ta jidang dongal 첨부진에 가야 메디 값수 대화tar도 난그 여때 된라 대외 랑신도 마주봐 동알기 남발 규르초조 동알기 떼닝 초조 동알기 대우기 남발로 규르초조 임바티 딱 몸이 딱봐 임베 떡이 중국이라
Well, think about this. For example, right now, perhaps we are not experiencing any great uh, difficult situation, that is, we are not stricken by any severe sickness or illness, right? So it seems on the surface that we are happy, that we are experiencing genuine happiness, but in reality, that's not the case. Whatever we experience is not that of nature of genuine lasting happiness, but is rather by its essence already suffering. Why? Because our situation, whatever it is, can change and will change, right? Because it's by nature impermanent, it's going to change, and that truth of the change already implies that whatever we experience is not genuine happiness, but rather suffering.
대간난신기 동알기 규 레당 녀몽 셰바티야 다 미답베가네 마시 연그리 균데기 남샤데
Likewise, the cause of our suffering is said to be the karma, intentions and actions, and our afflictive, disturbing emotions. Right? Konda kemplatama chikti yapukoma tini ledang gyuje
레당 녀몽티 동알기 규라 데 규당 데우티야 미답베기 ngoyindu 균데기 남샤셰 연구라 규와 맨나 균데 연구 말와
So the causes of suffering, that is the karma and afflictive emotions, are also by nature impermanent and change, and so they also lead in this way to suffering.
아니 디기젤라다 최탐제 동신 다음에 봐 송용두 다 람기된바 송용그라 람기 냠len 타르투바디 다음에 동이 있어 송용그라
The third seal of the Dharma states that all phenomena are emptiness and devoid of self. That reflects the truth of the path among the Four Noble Truths, right? Which shows at the end that the true nature of phenomena is that of shunyata and the lack of truly existing self.
된 타마 냥을 대바 시와 송용디 다 고비 된바 송용그라
And the fourth seal of the Dharma, it states that nirvana is a great peace that reflects the truth of cessation.
안 대간난신기 양 쳔바니디 군접기 된바탕 쳔바 엉만니디 된담기 된비 콩수동네야 시초고이래
Likewise, the two of the four seals could be said to pertain to the relative truth among the two truths, and other two to the ultimate truth.
다디 낭라 코르웨기 체니 냥데기 체니 코르와 냥데 니기기 최탐지 되는 거래스
So in this way, they demonstrate both the phenomena which are by nature belong to samsara and phenomena that belong to nirvana.
데니 코르웨 체니디 동알인디 동알방에디 고짬에디 미탁베 냠는 라테네 동알방에기 고짬 고고이레 숭고이레
The main characteristic of samsara, of cyclic existence, is suffering. And how can we be free of suffering? Well, it is said by understanding impermanence.
된 미탁발라 떼네 녜중니 다 녜중당 추지 꿀마당 다 양답을 람디 다 람기 네 신도고이레 숭고이레. The main characteristic of samsara, of cyclic existence, is suffering. And how can we be free of suffering? Well, it is said by understanding impermanence.
The How so? Because impermanence urges us to give up samsara. It encourages us to develop genuine renunciation and take up the Dharma path.
Tene nyangde shebati dew nyangde sheba tobar sheba la ta dhamme be tuyam tongni gi tundi nyamle machena tobe gi tap meba gyu zo khorang derang imba chi ta ngori nang yongura.
Also, it points out that the main cause for attaining nirvana, which is the transcendence of suffering, the main method is emptiness and selflessness. Without practicing, without realizing emptiness and selflessness, there is no other way, no other method to attain transcendence or to attain nirvana. That is to say, to transcend suffering.
Korwa la lo logne, korwa le lo dogne, korwe gi shembate kyungne tene yangda be tuen la kombar chegure jorgugure songde.
It is said that we need to turn away from samsara, that we need to let go of our graspings, fixation, really let it go, abandon it, and engage in the genuine Dharma practice.
Ta tuen ngoma di nyangde topgo na tongni gi tuen la kombar ngondu songure songre.
The meaning of that is if we really want to transcend our suffering, attain what is known as nirvana, we ought to embrace the view of emptiness. That's the genuine practice that we are talking about here.
Tongni gi kombe gi nyamlen di yauru dwe la tungen de la tene chok sawa tinde kogure songre.
We also need to make sure that we have all the conducive factors, conducive circumstances for our meditation on emptiness, which will be, in this case, accumulation of merit, gathering the accumulations.
Ta ngaran sogi tenda ningbo di dangme gi tuen ba di hago dangme gi kom jab go ya hago na yang ta dangme be tuen de la nyambar sha to go mindu sem ne gi mindu sung yong di ta tapshi di ta choksa dipjang chi go re sung go ra.
The real issue here is that even though we understand the view of selflessness, we know about it, we don't rest in that view. Right? We don't meditate on it, we don't remain in it. And as the method to counteract that problem, we need to purify our obscurations, our evil deeds, and we need to gather accumulations of merit and wisdom.
Ta choksa dipjang che di gen tenda ngoma di shemba che gi che dure ta ngaran sogi zo di nyamle ngo la jor mi nu gin di shemba dan zimba digi chingwa digi chingdu go yura.
Again, the real meaning of that statement, right, is that is the reason we need to, the real meaning here is the reason for why do we need to accumulate merit and purify our obscurations. And the reason is that we do that in order to cut through our graspings, our attachment, because that's the main chain that binds us to samsara. That's the main obstacle for us, our grasping.
Ten choksa yung du ngaran sogi kyabro semge yenla tumbe go ni choksa dang chi yue de barwa.
For example, how do we gather accumulations? We do that by means of practices such as going for refuge, generating pure motivation of bodhicitta, practicing the 7 branch practice.
Daga nanshin gi kazi rinpoche gi kalum nang suwa nanshin re ngaran sogi ta nyeba daw di mangbu chi konjo sumla tuyne ani nyeba chapchi mo sawa ta semjen gi tin ma tene ani nyeba chapchi mo sawa ta tinde yungdu ta di shabar cheba la de konjo sumla tene ngazo cha chale ta semjen tamjile ningje komba di topgi 다 디그리 첨부 직다 닥투구 요리 송송
Just as Rinpoche taught during the seminar, a lot of our mistakes stem from the fact that we don't go for refuge in the free jewels. We don't turn our minds to the free jewels, and also we don't really remember the kindness of sentient beings, and thus we don't really feel genuine compassion, empathy to them. And so it's really important to purify those kind of wrong views, apologize, right, for those wrong views. That is to say, we need to turn our minds to the free jewels, and we need to generate pure compassion towards all sentient beings. So that will remedy our wrong beliefs.
대가난 신기 ngaranzo tungshak yora phungbusunbe donnangla shakba chinjula chigdinzo tena kunjo sumla tene chebegi nyeba semjenla tene chebegi tikba ota dinzo shakba cheji chingmusu simbaire labardo ngaranzo sangagi nangla tene ngazo shakdom che dinzo nangla chikha salbo shidare kunjo sumla neba cheba ta tambe che pangba ta dindegi chig yore zo di kunjo sumdang semjen phama dinzo la neba chebegi tikba tamje ta nyembo topshi gune ta tudiring ma shakbar chegi samsona ta digi digba ken top ta dingana zo nyembo ken top chembo digi digba chembo da yongdu de nyamne ngusu jorwala tunging gi trok che yingre.
Likewise, when it comes to the practice of apologizing, confessing those kind of mistakes, misdeeds, we can rely on the words of the sutras that really directly demonstrate that most of our misdeeds stem from us giving up the free jewels, not turning our minds, not taking refuge in the free jewels, and also forsaking sentient beings, not developing compassion, empathy towards sentient beings, instead harming them. So then we can use those words found in the sutra saying that, directly saying like that I apologize for giving up the sacred Dharma, I apologize for forsaking sentient beings. In this way, we can rely on the practice known as the four strengths, right? The four remedial powers, saying that from today on, I am not going to engage in those misdeeds again. So this would be a practice of confession, which in its own way will serve building up this conducive environment, conducive factors for the practice meditation.
Teni 대가난 신기 ngaranzo yenla tumbe ki nyamle nangdo tangbo koran chaksalwara chaksa yundi ko luji ko ne chaksa sirisa lu teba me sita lu de la zimba pangme ko ta chaksa ko ra ngoma chena.
Likewise, if we look at the practice of the 7 branches, the first among the 7 branches is the practice of prostration, where we really literally throw our body on the floor when we prostrate to the free jewels. In this way, we're giving up any concern for our own body, giving up this attachment to our own form, our own body.
ngaranzogi zimba cheshu di luik na yora shembadan zimbate.
Because our strongest attachment, grasping, is towards this form, this body that we have.
Then ngaranzogi jede cheshu di luik na chigirwa.
Gondo kerechigiri.
ngaranzo pe jebu 당렬 약쇼 di luik la 당렬 chigirwa.
And therefore, also what we cherish the most is our body. That's what we take greatest care of.
디는 것도 착살 쓰디가서 땅원에 다니기 약쇼디 피구여다. ngomachena.
So when we prostrate, in reality, what we offer is what we value the most, this body.
된 대가나시 상하기 균나라 루기 짱착 답데 잘스네 짱착데 하람 류라 마되미 그라 팔제 깨코랑 가서 마지 수부tlö 당신은 싸가나 수부투인데 깨지 다기도 알아 어딘데고네 착살당수 다 딘데 짱마기 잘나 되게 말해 다 변다 미귤리 가르스나데 류디기 셴바 메베고네 착살수 고고라.
Likewise, in the Tantras, it is explained that when we prostrate, we need to do it in the manner of disregarding this body of ours, completely giving up any concern for it, really literally throw it on the ground so it makes a sound. Bum, right? When you throw yourself on the ground, it will make a sound really like that. But it's not enough just to perform it on this kind of physical, right, aspect of this is not enough. We also need to have a proper understanding and tension while doing that, which is that I am giving up grasping, attachment, fixation on this body. That should be our understanding while doing that, while engaging in prostration.
다 쪼디 류디기 셴바제 위치도 착사게라 디 고알린 거리.
So we need to remember that the whole reason for us prostrating is so that we give up, let go of attachment to the body.
땡가란조 땡상오 nga subu yabu chaik chidu changcha chal lana tadi ta chaksawe ki nekap ki phen de yuri na yang chaksawe tenda ngoma du nugu yamati.
These days people say, oh, I'm prostrating so much, really I feel great, such a great exercise to stay fit. Well, that's really not the main concern that we should have. Yeah, maybe temporary, it's great to be fit. That's good outcome of doing prostrations, but that's really not the main reason for why we should be doing it.
Tadi sakche ki kyawa mato sami ki kyawa ngosu jor nugu yamari.
Because with that intention, then prostrations will result in the merit, but the merit will be defiled because of our views, right? Our intentions. It's not going to be undefiled, pure merit and virtue.
Tiyindi ngaran zogi 류지 짱차 망보 찰 망보 짤소나 가로 지네 셈라 콤디 데라 강사기 다 류데라 짐바메바 차소나 다 냠령 엄마 둘리게 그래스 또 뭐수 조리에도 누르 줄고 그래스 셈바 메스인데.
Actually, when we prostrate, right, when we throw our body on the ground, the more we do it, the more our minds become familiarized with the fact that there is no truly existent self of a person. Because, well, we give up this attachment, grasping to the body, and for that we also let go of this attachment to self. That's the real outcome that we need to aim for with this practice.
다 류기고니 짱샤 망보 찰차웨 제라 되니 ngaran 저기 담에베 냠린 땅송나 담에베 냠린데 땅송와이나 된 류기 짐바 메베 가네 짐바 치슈 디 또르베 가네 된 냠린 오일라 줄투위기 깬 상부지 체기레스
책셀디 켄 체게레스라
깬 상부 퉁게 록바 약부지 라 냠린 오일수 렙투위기 디기 다르게 약부지 sögüyeres.
In this way, if we engage in the practice of prostration with this proper understanding and intention, the prostrations will serve as really good, favorable, conducive factor for us arriving at the actual practice, that is to say, the practice of selflessness. Right? Because how come? Well, they connect it in this way. When we prostrate, we let go of attachment to the most valuable thing that we possess, this body, and it will lead us to the practice, actual genuine practice of selflessness. Right? So in this way, this practice of prostrating will become very good condition, favorable condition for engaging in the actual main practice of selflessness.
다 류기 셴바디 마돌기 파르도 다착 균대엔도 쌀고 그래스.
So it's until then we really genuinely let go of attachment for this body. We need to practice, prostrations over and over again. Until then, that we need to be doing them.
남실라 류라 셴바당 제진 더스나 때니 착살이 참샤나 초고여레스. 동기 창마간 랩사레스.
So when we find ourselves in the state where we don't hold this body anymore as most dear to us as we give up. When we find ourselves that we have giving up as attachment, grasping to the body, we can say, okay, the prostrations serve their purpose, and we can actually stop doing them because we have arrived at the practice of ultimate prostrations, ultimate homage.
다 디갑소 냠령 오마라 조리 동신 다메바 세긴 되는 레기레스.
At that moment, we have arrived at the main practice, the practice of the actual one, the one of meditation on emptiness and selflessness.
제장 안조 상아 세긴텔라 탑 망부시다 요래 숭이디 다 대당 대숭기 탑 망부이고네 다 ngaran 저기 주니기 내룩도 베기 아니 겐체 망부 요래스.
In this way, we can see that the secret mantras or tantras have many valuable methods, right? Many different practices that will serve as this kind of helpful conditions to realize suchness, the true nature of our mind.
디인디 착살베고네야 강사게 담에 똑두고 요래스. 냠년 제시나.
You see, in this way, just by engaging in the practice of prostrations, we can arrive at genuine realization of selflessness of a person.
다 강사게 담에 숭이디 쪼디 류라 nga오 냠베기 짐바토레치도 때 강사게 담에 세긴 때나 밥고라.
When we speak about the selflessness of a person, right, the person, individual, we usually ascribe that, true existence to a person on the account of a body, because we think, I am this body, I am this, right, form. So in this way, it's very much related, giving up attachment to the body and realizing the selflessness of an individual.
데닝아란조 양 도몽 태바왕도 제나 아니 강사게 다때 마두바 임발라 리베 남샤 시인디 싱다 남둥기 리발라서 바숭네 강사게 다 ngoe 마두바 랑싱이 마두바 직 시고지 연구라.
Also in the more common vehicle, that's not the tantric one, we also have many methods to, which help us to realize a lack of truly existing self of a person. Especially there we employ a lot of logical reasonings, arguments. For example, the one method known as the sevenfold reasonings of a chariot. By employing those 7 types of reasonings, we then gain certainty that there is no truly existent, true and real self of a person.
니가게 된다 직발에 류제진디 돌고 그래스. 류라 셴바디 도고 그래스.
Again, here the same purpose as before, which is to give up, let go of the attachment, grasping to the body.
다 디기젤라 연락 좀 백업서 쳐밥을 와서 연구라.
We're going through the 7 branches, right? The practice of the 7 branches, and the second branch after the branch of prostrations is the branch of making offerings.
다 쳐밥을 백업서 땅한 저기 상부기 제 유제 무수 유바당 무수 샤메 메나야 로이 미바 제비고네다 다 상부 유제 푸 초고라.
This practice of making offerings comes down to us offering all the excellent articles, whether they're actually present, the actual things that we own or that are in the world, or just the ones that we visualize. The main point here is that whatever is we find to be wonderful, excellent, really good, we should offer that.
땅아란 저기 짐바디 상불 연구를 마도 냠발 연구 말아. 간저기 가와 땅 착바디 상불 열어.
Because what we grasp at, what we have attachment to, is what we find to be excellent and good, right? That's what we want. It's not like we have attachment to something that we disregard or find it ugly and not nice.
다 대한하신 거란 저 절마 멘달 시촌 안에 송원 난시리 멘달 도르드베 값수 류 롱주 계속다 제바 탐제양 제바 불초기도아.
Also, what we could offer is like in the verse of the mandal offering, we can offer this body, all the things that we possess, and also all the virtue that we have accumulated in the free times.
먼저 다글류 롱주 계속군 선진의 직제시요아.
There are 4 lines there with the mandal offering, this body, all the possessions, and all the virtues we offer.
되니 상부 탐지 불성화이나 되니 강라인 짐바메 차트오레스.
If we give away, if we offer all these wonderful good things, then we won't have attachment anymore, right? Because we have given up all what we grasp at.
데 강라 짐바메나 강라 셴바메나 다 동니기 냠네 당미기 냠네 강 레용 그레스.
If we don't have grasping and attachment, what is it? Well, we have arrived at the actual practice of emptiness and selflessness right there.
다 상하기 값수 다 쳐바들라 멘탈 기술도 불당이라.
In the context of the tantric teachings, when we make offerings, this practice is known as the mandal offering.
다디 델라 뜨니 되니 추기 당미 베기 된텔라 냠바르 샤크투밤 추기 당미가 렙트위기 튕겐디 지기레스.
And that practice serves as the great aid, right? Favorable condition for us realizing selflessness of all phenomena.
다 태보 투몬 값수 제나 아주 최라 닥진 세겐디 다우드 젬비 율코랑 땡아주 릭베 제용디 우메기 땡티 쳔보 시암 나라서베고네 메버두연디 지미기가 레규라 다 상하기 냠랭 값수 당우수 멘달라서 발라 뜨네 때 탐지 풀린데 강라 짐바 차바 메베가네 최기 당메기 냠랭가 레용 그래스.
In the common sutric vehicle, we deal with grasping to phenomena, to objects, by analyzing those objects. Right? We employ the 4 or 5 reasonings of the middle way to understand that those phenomena, those objects that we grasp at, don't have any truly existent nature of their own. And in that way, as the result, we arrive at a state where we have given up attachment to those things. Here, in the context of the tantric teachings, we don't analyze the objects, but we actually practice like making offering, like a mandal offering. And through that practice, we also give up. We let go of graspings and attachment to the objects. So the result is there as well.
다 대가 나신기 다 되기 전에 림바데 샥베기 림바스 레기라.
The third of the 7 branches of this practice is the branch of confession, confessing evil deeds.
그랑서 샘딜라 남도 전주 매부 먹으라.
Our minds usually have a lot of conceptual thoughts, discursive, thoughts.
다 상불다 짐바민도 이나 엄마 제베기 냠바디 락데 있으면 델라 동바직단 태섬지 여대라.
Maybe now we don't grasp at the excellent good things anymore. We have given up that, but we still hold on to the notions that I am bad. I have done something really, truly bad in the past.
다디 ngaran 저기 샥바 제베고네 통면에 사베 다디 빠르기 딕딥 탐지 냠보 톱시 고네 샤용디 딕딥 장네 데 강라야 짐바메베 간 레병고레스.
And this we counteract with the practice of confession, which will remedy those kind of graspings to the evil deeds, thinking that I've done this and that, because we will genuinely confess all those misdeeds, those types of wrongdoings, by employing the 4 powers, 4 remedial strengths. And for that, then we also will arrive at the space where we have giving up that grasping fixation on the evil deeds, wrongdoings.
Tene yang sanga nangla 탑 망부 요디 탑 나니 초도 주바데다 dorjisembe komdegi gone dikdip nyedungdang cheba 탐지 다 용두 때 강라야 지바메베 강라 다 동신 다음에 강라 냠내 남고라.
Likewise, among the multiple skillful methods found in the Tantras, the supreme method is said to be the practice of Vajrasattva, which we will then employ, and for that also confess our misdeeds and let go of the graspings. As the result of this practice, we will also arrive at the space of openness where we don't hold anything anymore, which is emptiness and selflessness.
다 니네인디 데니 다 냠랭기 타르톡사 렙사디 다 동신 다음에 가나 렙고 그래. 데 말렙기 파도 쫄지기 냠랭 뜨고 그래.
So all of those practices of the branches, they aim, their sole purpose is for us to arrive at the realization of emptiness, right? Arrive at that space of not holding anything anymore, grasping to anything, being at that space of openness, emptiness, and selflessness. So until we reach there, we need to put forth effort in those various skillful means and practices. We need to pursue them. We need to engage in them.
아니야 다 디기 질란 냠랭 림바 나라다 제수 이랑 셰바 용구라.
So we're moving to the next branch, which is the branch of rejoicing, the practice of rejoicing.
ngaranzogi yangla ngaranzogi semgi nangla parubi기 제비기 개와텔라 그 제유나 메나 삼베기 태좀디라라 태좀디엔 짐바 타우지라라 데 태좀디 살와 제발라 약쇼디 된 제수 이랑마 차거라.
So the purpose of this practice is to deal with our doubts, right? When it comes to virtue, goodness done by others, when we kind of not sure really, was it good? Is it like, is it good that they have done it or not? This kind of hesitation or doubt is in itself a subtle type of grasping. And so then to remedy that subtle grasping, we rejoice in the goodness of others.
쫄와단 제베 제수 이랑 셰바티 셴기 개와 제발랑 가와 게디라라 된다 ngo마텔라 로라 독바단 태좀 가야 메바 셴바 메바디 제수 이랑 ngo마디 차거레 된기 제수 이랑.
So the practice that is effortful, the practice of rejoicing, which is effortful, is to really think about the goodness done by others and then generate that appreciation, joy, right? That's on the surface, or kind of on a relative level, that's what we do. But real ultimate practice of rejoicing is then to let go of all those doubts about goodness of others, to let go in other way of subtle grasping, because doubt is the type of grasping, and then rest in that space of openness. That's the real purpose of this practice.
테니다 디기질 테니 최고 거르발라 솔와테 바탕 냥엘리 미다발라 소와테 바틴 연구요아.
The next branches here are the request to turn the Dharma wheel, request to give the teachings, and also the request to the teachers to not pass into nirvana.
다 디기 냠네 ngo마 다 상아나나다 라멘 날조단 델니 숭용구라.
Here the actual, well, the tantric aspect of those practices is very much connected with guru yoga.
딘 라메기 최고르와 솔와 타베티양 최고마 타르투바데 가르스나타 동신 다음에바 셴바메베기 된데라 토테라.
When we request the teachers to turn the Dharma wheel, what is the real and final Dharma, the ultimate Dharma, is the Dharma of emptiness, of the letting go of attachment, no fixation, right? That space of openness, simplicity. So that's what we're requesting.
Teni nyangele mitaba ngui ngoma de chögi kurwa. Sugu nyangele dagirwa. Chögi kula kega nesumna tawarwa.
When we request with the next branch the teachers not to pass into nirvana, we're not here supplicating them to remain in their physical form with us. That's not going to happen, right? They are going to, let go of this form and move on. But what we're really asking to remain is Dharma body, the Dharma Kaya, which itself is beyond coming into existence, remaining, or passing away.
Teni chögi ku sheba teni ta rangi semgi rangshin wesalwa tegarangwa.
Dharmakaya, this body, the dimension of Dharma, is the same as the luminous nature of our own mind.
Ta tewarshi binyingbo ngoma de terwa.
This is the real Buddha nature.
Tengaranzo komtu nyamsha nangla chögi kula nisu meba se sungzi nidan dalwegi ngodirwa.
When we rest in the state of meditation, as it is said, we are indivisible. We are not separated from Dharmakaya. There's no two, there's no duality in that state. That's the essence of the emptiness right there.
Tangazo lamin naljo kapso teni ta lamin naljo pena thudup do ina namba guru rimbachi imbala ngo tsawi lama imba thela teni nga bensang guru thayan tinde yorete thar lama tang rangsim irmedu chikdu teni nyambar shaidi lamin naljo tönyu ngoma de chayndi ti tongshi tame basen ta turulegi ro ngoma te.
If we think about the practice of Guru Yoga, for example, in the cycle of Tugdrup Barche Kunsel, right, accomplishing the heart essence of the Guru, dispeller of all obstacles, we visualize in front of us Guru Rinpoche, right, which in essence is our own root teacher. And then we recite the mantra of Guru Rinpoche, Benza Guru mantra. But that's what happens again, right, externally. But in reality, what happens is that the real actual practice of Guru Yoga is remaining, for us to remain in the space of our minds being indivisible from the minds of our gurus, right? Remaining in the space of non-duality, mingling our mind with the mind of the Guru. That's the real practice. Again, what is that? That's emptiness and selflessness right there.
Ti indi ta chö tamje tongshi tame ba sundi nyamle ngoma drutu de res.
So you see, when it is stated that all phenomena are emptiness and devoid of self, the third Dharma seal, really all practices kind of lead to that.
Ta ngondogi nyamlen de yang ngondogi la re la tongshi tame ba sung de do. Koalen tune nyamlen chetuna chikshe control senta duru chagere.
So in the context of the Nyondro, which are the preliminary practices, right? There is the 5 preliminary practices. Each and every of those practices point out again to emptiness and selflessness, all of them. So if we really can understand that one point, that one essential meaning, everything will be liberated. By knowing one, everything is freed.
Ta nyamlen tham je nane samudi tongbani re so shugu rangazo.
In this way, the profound meaning of all Dharma practices is emptiness, right? That's the real purpose, meaning of all the practices.
Tengaranzo chö nyamle ngushi le kyang ngondo sap sungdi ka su ngondo khorang go chu den ko tongbani samu tongbani den she yin gure. 텐데 온도 레장 ngōshī lēcāng ngōndō dī kālchūngā chē mē rēs ngōndō tāngbō nī khurāng tā tāng mē bātā tōngnī kī ñamnī sūnyōng dī tāngbō rāng nī khurāng tā nēkāk thārtū dī sūnyōng dī kālchūng bō tsī gu rē sūnyōng jīm zhēn tī rēs.
It is said that the preliminary practices, the nyonru, are even more important than the main practice. And the reason for that is that, you see, all those preliminary practices are very much lead to understanding, realization of emptiness. They all are connected with the profound meaning of emptiness. From the very beginning, we can reach that by doing the preliminary practices. From the very beginning, from the outset, the key, essential meaning of all Dharma, which is emptiness, is already present. So therefore, if we do them correctly, they could and are in fact become more even precious and important than the main practice that comes later.
Tēnī tīngsāng rinpochī ngā rāng sō lā kālab nā tākbā rīshī tā gōm kyōng gō rē ñamlīn chē gō rē pē nā lōbī īngyīng kīyāng sul nē tō tāng sām tēng pē gōmbā lā nē rāb tū jōr rūs nē jōr yā ngō mā tī nyē ngō mā tī gōmbā lāk tōng kī ñamlīn rē tāng mē tōng shīng tāng mē pē kī ñamlīn rē sī yā yā sūng yé tī tā tūrū tū gō rē sī.
Really, these days, Rinpoche repeats all the time that we need to meditate, we need to practice meditation. Just as Vasubandhu has said that by first studying and then reflecting, the actual practice is the one of meditation. Right? So the actual practice here is the practice of emptiness and selflessness. That's what we need to engage in and do. That's what Rinpoche emphasizes so much.
Tīndi tā rinpochī kāpri sūngu tā tā māngbō shē mā shē mā tā gōm gō rē tē gō rē sūngu tā tā tē rē ngō mā shē na.
Right, Rinpoche always says these days, like, there is no point of saying many elaborate, fancy things. Just meditate, just practice.
곰당 디양 셴바 마치네 셴바단 차베 ngāla 샤고 그래 소리.
And the way to meditate, the way to practice, it should be carried out without us grasping at the practice, without us, fixating on anything whatsoever.
다디 라마 똑바 초된 지군드네 ngoje 톱이나 딩앙 경에 디레스.
When we get this kind of pointing out instructions from a really qualified master, there's nothing for us left to do but just sustain that in our own practice of meditation.
달라마 똑바 초된 지군드네 맹아 마토소나 드네 뭐지 가진 송와나 신 군진 첨보 롱젠 남정이 송사 퇴반이 치로스 곰반이 남도스 말 삼반이 남도스 곰반이 포주 송사 뒤차게 요레스 맹아다 마데네 체나.
And if we don't receive this kind of PIF instructions from a real qualified guru, if we don't, let's say, follow, really recognize those PIF instructions, then what happens is, it again, what Rinpoche taught in the seminar, what happens is, as Longchenpa said, all our studies, all our learnings will become just empty words, like corpses. The words will be like just dead words. Our reflection will be nothing but just other discursive thoughts, conceptuality, and our practice will be like us, posturing, like just showing off. So this, right, what Longchenpa said will happen if we are separating ourselves from the meaning of PIF instructions.
데니 딱 공도 슈에직 제도 캡도 당 셈제 대 값을라인다 셴바 메베간 레벨 숨고요레스.
Going back a little bit, what I'm saying is also that the practices preliminaries such as refuge, right? Bodhicitta, the awakened mind, are taught in a way that we need, that we need to do them without fixation, without grasping. Khenpo di karesun gyores di zimpamepe gane chegures. Yeah. So, yes, we need. Yes, they are taught for us to let go of fixation and grasping.
Tene döngi 잡로 ngoma di chogushigire, ra? Da julama nangla di kola yore. Ten zo ngoma di tene chuni kangla nyambara shaydi döngi 잡로 chaga yores.
How is that? Well, we need to think here about the ultimate refuge. What is the actual ultimate refuge? It's Dharmakaya. We take refuge in Dharmakaya. This is what also the texts such as Gulama Uttaratantra Shastra point out, that right ultimate refuge is Dharmakaya. In other words, us resting in the suchness, true nature of our own minds.
Tene semge diyang, semge nyamle ngoma tarto bade ta dön tambe semge suyindi chuni ngonsumdo thongwa tila shagura.
And likewise, the real ultimate bodhicitta is us resting directly in the state of suchness, true nature of phenomena.
대가나시 가서 ngondogi nyamlen kapso yang, semjegi nyamlen chela yang, semgegi nyamlen charbe chela yang, nganzogi komchoya, ra ringo chongegi nyamlenji yodegi ra, ta tinso di semje ngomadi chagira, dön tambe semje chagira.
That's why if you look at the Nyondro, the preliminary practices, right after reciting the verse of bodhicitta, we have also a moment where we dissolve everything and just rest in that natural state, sustaining the continuity of meditation. This is the practice of ultimate bodhicitta.
ngaranzogi semje dinzola semge ngomadi ngone chunigi nilug madok bardo semje ngomadi ketuk mare 닝je ngomadi 가서 chunigi nilug ngomadi 통소나 어디 ngoma 마통에 차상 아카 세게 랑신기 거랑 닝제 기행을 쫄미기 닝제시.
Until we realize the natural state of all phenomena, dharmata, suchness, we won't be able to generate ultimate bodhicitta. In other words, real, most genuine compassion. It's only when we really see the true nature of all phenomena that effortless, spontaneous compassion for all beings arises.
다 뒷말립기 바로 닝제 여도 요초고다 쫄미기 닝제기에 가고 싶다래.
Of course, until that, we do have moments of compassion, but for genuine, effortless compassion to come into being is really hard until we realize the natural state of all phenomena.
다 디인다 ngondogi nyamne 레레레라 다 나저 그런 냠랭기 식당 여래 외도 쉬네 검자이디 야야행 숭여래 다 검다 마금디 랑라라래라 그런 냠랭기 림바나나 검자고래 숭여래.
Gonta Kempala Yankirchik Sunranan.
ngazo ngondogi nyamne라 잡도 semge 연라tumba 멘다 샥바 라멘날주라 디데레레 차와당 검자이기 림바디 디나라 숭여레스 다 검 잡다 마잡디 소소라리라 응니 당내기다 라마 체딩기 ngondogi nyamnen chidana 검 자딘 짜 숭여레스 당매기 된자냐 nyamnen chig을 숭여레스.
After each of the preliminary practices, that's refuge, bodhicitta, mandala offerings, vajrasattva, guru yoga, we have the instruction to remain in the natural state, right there. There's the time to carry out the practice of meditation. Whether we do it or not, whether we really rest in that space of openness and real meditation, well, that depends on us. It's in our hands. But instruction is there. The time to practice is given right there, right? But it's now up to us if we do it or not.
Pena 잡도기 냠nen 시비 값소냐 kyabul tamje wedu shune rangla timne te nyambar shaire sungires thangbu chapdone khora.
For example, right after the first of the preliminaries, that's refuge, the the field of accumulation, right, the objects of refuge that we visualize in front of us, they melt into light, and that light dissolves into us, and we rest in that state of inseparability from the objects of refuge.
Ti nyamnende kharre tongshin tangme parawas.
What practice are we doing there? The practice of emptiness and selflessness.
Nganzo tupchen telopa ki naropa sungra shemba chöchik naropa asla tikta tongni ki nyamnen chigores tongni ki nyamnen segende shemba mebe ngang chongore sungra.
As Tilopa pointed out to Naropa, cut through all graspings, my son. That's the practice. Well, what he meant there is engage in the practice of emptiness, because what is emptiness? What is that? Word that we use is really the state where we have let go of all fixation and grasping.
Tangondo ki rimbati mangburo ala sangbu phul ngemba chang and tokba tesomi na salne ta nyamnen chedang ti sungno bundwa ngondo khorana re sungsa tegi shibanashi.
And there are many those steps, methods that we do in the context of the Nyonro preliminaries, right? We offer the good things, we apologize, confess the bad things, just as I have explained earlier.
Ta lame menga ki kapso khazir mbochi suwa na shi nyamnen chidi ka so sangbo layan zimba maches ngemba layan samla matangs parma layan samla matang seginta tonda ngomal ngondo rimba chaza dichik na dugu yores.
Nyonro chatsang tamadi rimpa. Yeah, of course.
Because in the ngondo we need to practice maybe hour, half hour something. When Rinpoche teach to us pit introduction, when he show us how to do meditate, you don't think the good thing, you don't think about the bad thing, even neutral also, just let go. Meaning, all ngondo meanings there, if you understand. Ta tiling di shemba me sen ta tongshi tangme kan leung gres.
Just as that instruction of not really thinking about good, bad, or neutral thing is exactly instruction to remain in emptiness, openness, and a state of selflessness.
Menga sungyen di tsik nyung chigi tunda thamje diwa lagrawa.
Beef instruction is exactly the instruction that uses only few words but points to the most essential meaning.
Sangto, ngento, parme tokpa thamjile dalwegi, lole debegi chuningala shak sungyendi ngondo rinpoche sungyen gres.
So with these few words that urge us to rest in the space of complete openness, the one that transcends all, thinking about good things, about bad or neutral, right? Going beyond and resting in that space of openness. Right? This is the most essential practice, and all the nyondro, all the preliminary practices reach there. They all contain this PIF instruction.
Tekana shingaran so nyamnin sur dorduna jorwa semge tamba, ngushi mingme tamba, jengwa tamba, san tamba namba sungyungdi, ta ngushi ngoma nyamnin di migba meba sidikasta komba lani raptu jor, shemba chuchi naropa, tongshin ta meba sa ta tunda tirbab yung gres.
Likewise, if we think about the three excellent points, which is the excellent preparation, where we give rise to awakened mind of bodhicitta, the excellent main part, where we have to rest in the state of without any reference point, and the excellent conclusion, which is the practice of dedication. Right? exactly, especially the excellent main part where we have to rest without focusing on anything whatsoever. This is exactly also what Vasubandhu said, that meditate, having studied and reflected, their actual practice is that of meditation. It's what Tilopa told Naropa, cut through grasping. It's the third Dharma seal, that all phenomena are emptiness and devoid of self.
Teni nganzo je ngowa tamba se ngowa chi indi kapso yin semjen tham je ta sanji gopam topar sho se nganzo ngowa chi gi ra.
And the excellent conclusion, which is dedication of merit, what do we aspire for, right? What do we dedicate towards, is that all sentient beings may they reach enlightenment.
Teni sanji gopam top nyangle de segendi kaze rinpoche suwa nanshingi nyomong labgi miyo wa di ngang topar sho samutang kores.
What is that state of, Buddha, known as enlightenment or nirvana, as Rinpoche said? It's the state where we are not stirred by the waves of our disturbing emotions, our afflictions.
Di kareres dadi tongshi tangmebe ngo korang cha de res.
What is that? Again, that's the essence of emptiness and selflessness.
Ho la so tang ngowa sung na nganzo tuzo simsong la.
So let's dedicate, because we will also run out of time.
ngowa ngoma di kawar chigo semjen tham je semgi chuni topar sho se ngowa chigo da.
What is the ultimate real dedication of merit is us aspiring that may all sentient beings realize and rest in the nature of their minds.
Tarpa tere, shingam tere.
This is the liberation, this is the pure realm.
Hola so. Chanchu semchu rinpo che manje panam kenjur che kempa nyamba membar yang kone kondon pelwar shu sonam di tamje sekba ni topne nyebe dana pamje ne Genga na chen ba la chuk ba yi si be so le ro wan ro wa shu. Hola, tuji che, sang ni che yo.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.